How did one funny moment at the gym turn into me getting served papers in a bright office tower lobby while people stared? Why did my husband stay calm, say almost nothing, and still make my whole life change in one day? What did he collect in silence while I kept telling everyone he was the problem? My name is Phaedre Calloway, and I was 33 when we joined the new gym. I told everyone it was for health. I said we needed a fresh start. I also said it was for Evan, my husband, because he always complained about his back and his clothes. People nodded when I said that. It sounded kind. It sounded like I was the supportive wife. Evan took it seriously from day one. He planned his meals. He packed a small bag with clean socks and a towel. He checked the gym app like it was a job. He asked me to come with him at the same time every week. I said I was busy. I said I had work calls. I said my stomach hurt. I said anything that made him go alone. At first, I liked that he went alone. He was out of the house. He was not in my face. I could scroll on my phone and breathe. Then he started changing. His shoulders looked wider. His face looked sharper. He stood straighter. And people noticed. That was the part I did not expect. The gym had a friendly crowd. They were the type who smiled too much and asked too many questions. They talked about protein and steps like it was religion. Evan fit in fast. He listened. He copied the warm-up moves. He asked the trainer for tips. He did not act proud. He acted calm. That made them like him more. I should have been happy. I told myself I was happy. But inside, I felt small. The first time I heard someone praise him, it was at the smoothie bar. A woman named Tessa, who taught classes, told him he was consistent. She said consistency was rare. Evan smiled and thanked her. He looked shy, like a teenager. I stood there with my cup and felt a sting in my chest. I wanted her to look at me like that. On the drive home, I asked Evan why he needed to come so often. I asked if he was trying to impress people. He asked what I meant. I said it felt like he cared more about strangers than me. He said he cared about his health and his kids. He said he wanted to live longer. He said he wanted to feel proud when he looked in a mirror. I told him mirrors were not that important. I told him a marriage should be enough. He asked if I would be proud of him. I said of course, but I also said he was acting intense. I said he was turning into one of those men who talk about macros all day. I said I missed when he was normal. In my head, I framed it as a joke. I told myself jokes kept things light. I told myself Evan needed balance because he could get obsessed. That was my word for it. Obsessed. It made him sound unstable. It made me sound reasonable. So I started doing it in public. Little comments at first. When Evan picked up a heavier weight, I told him he looked like he was trying to win a contest. When he said he was tired, I told him he chose the pain. When he refused fries after the gym, I told the waiter he was being good. I watched people laugh, and I felt safe for a moment. Laughs felt like approval. Approval felt like power. One Saturday, I finally went with him at the same time as the group class. The gym was loud and bright. The weight floor smelled like rubber and citrus cleaner. Evan did his warm-up and waved to a few people. A man named Shane nodded at him like they were old friends. Daphne, my best friend, was there too. She hugged me and said the gym was our new home now. She asked why I waited so long to join the fun hours. I said work had been crazy. I said Evan was the one who had time. Daphne rolled her eyes like Evan was spoiled. She asked if Evan still acted sensitive. I said he did. I said he could not take a joke. I said I tried to motivate him, but he acted like a victim. That word came out easy. Victim. We walked to the weight area. Evan was doing a set and watching his form in the mirror. His shirt was damp. His jaw was tight. I saw the focus in his face. It looked good on him. I hated that I thought that. Tessa came by again and told Evan he was improving fast. She asked if he wanted to try a new program. Evan said yes and thanked her. She asked me if I trained too. I said I did sometimes. I said I was more into cardio because I did not want to get bulky. Daphne laughed and said I was already perfect. That made me stand taller. I let that moment fill me. Evan asked if we could take a photo together after his set. He said it would help him track progress. I said sure, and I held my phone up. But when the camera was on him, I felt the urge to poke the bruise. I felt the urge to remind him he was still my husband, not theirs. So I said he should suck in his stomach, like he used to do at the beach. I said it loud enough for Daphne to hear. Daphne laughed hard. Shane looked over and smiled like it was a comedy show. Evan froze for half a second. He asked why I said that. I said it was just teasing. I said he used to do it, so it was true. I said truth was not cruelty. He looked down at the floor and kept lifting. He did not argue. That made me angrier, because I wanted him to react. If he reacted, I could point and say he was dramatic. If he stayed quiet, I had to face myself. Later, in the locker hall, Evan asked if I could stop making comments about his body. He said it made him feel small in front of people. He said the gym was the first place he felt proud in a long time. I told him he was overthinking. I told him gym people teased each other all the time. I told him he was acting like I attacked him. I said I was his wife, so I was allowed to joke. I said marriage meant we could be honest. He asked if I would say the same things about me in public. I said that was different. I said women got judged more. I said he should be stronger because he was a man. The words felt sharp even as I said them, but I did not take them back. That night at home, the kitchen felt too quiet. The kids were watching cartoons in the living room. Evan cooked chicken and vegetables. He did not ask me about my day. He did not touch my waist when he passed behind me. He used to do that. I noticed the space where that touch should have been, and I blamed him for it. I opened the fridge and sighed loudly, like I was the tired one. Evan asked what was wrong. I said he was distant. I said he cared more about his gym friends than his own wife. He asked if I was serious. I said yes, because I needed to win. I needed to be the hurt one. Evan rinsed a plate and set it in the rack. His face was calm. He said he was trying to fix his life, not escape it. He asked why that made me angry. I said it did not make me angry. I said it made me worried. I said I felt like he was becoming someone else. I said I did not know where I fit anymore. He asked if I wanted to fit or if I wanted to control. I laughed like that was a silly question. I said I just wanted a normal husband, not a project. After the kids went to bed, Evan walked past the hallway desk and his phone lit up. I saw a calendar reminder on his screen. It was just a plain alert. It said, downtown 9:10 a.m. No details, no name. He tapped it off fast, like he forgot I was there. I asked what that was. He said it was a personal meeting. I asked with who. He said it was nothing I needed to worry about. I told him that sounded secret. He asked why I always looked for danger. I said I did not, but I watched his face closely. He went upstairs without the usual small talk. I stood in the hallway, holding my own phone, feeling a strange heat in my throat. I told myself he was hiding something. I told myself I had a right to push back. I told myself a joke at the gym was not the real problem. But the way he hid that alert stayed in my mind, like a door closing softly in the dark. The next week, Daphne planned a rooftop night with the gym group. She said we needed a real social start. She said the gym was not only sweat, it was community. I liked the word community. It sounded clean. It sounded like a reason to go out without feeling guilty. Evan did not want to go at first. He said he was tired and had an early morning. He asked if we could do dinner another day, just us. I said he always tried to isolate me. I said he acted like a guard, not a partner. He asked how a dinner with friends was isolation. I said he knew what I meant. I said he wanted to control the mood, and I wanted to breathe. He went anyway. That was the problem. When Evan did the right thing, it stole my excuses. The rooftop was crowded and loud. There were heat lamps and string lights. People stood close, like the air was expensive. The gym friends were already there with bright drinks and bright smiles. Tessa waved. Shane lifted his glass at Evan like they were teammates. Daphne pulled me into the middle like I was the main character. I told myself I deserved that. I told myself I had carried Evan for years. I told myself he only looked good now because I kept the house running. In my head, it was always a trade. If I gave him something, he owed me something. Evan sat near the edge of the table where the wind hit. He asked for sparkling water. Someone joked that he was too good for beer now. Evan smiled and said he had training tomorrow. The word training made people nod, like he was serious in a respected way. I saw their eyes on him. I saw the quiet admiration. So I did what I always did when I felt ignored. I changed the story. I said Evan had become so strict that he acted like a food police officer. I said he read labels like they were crime reports. People laughed. I added that he used to eat pizza at midnight, and now he acted offended by bread. Daphne laughed the loudest. She told the group Evan was a new man, and she said she hoped I could handle it. Evan asked me to stop. He said it gently, but I heard the boundary in it. He asked why I needed to talk about him like that. I said I was just being honest. I said if he was proud, he should not be fragile. I said if he wanted praise, he needed thick skin. I watched the group's faces. Nobody challenged me. That silence felt like support. Then Shane asked Evan how much weight he lost. Evan answered with a number and looked down, like he did not want to brag. Tessa said that was impressive and told Evan he should be proud. I felt the sting again. It was like everyone was handing him a trophy and forgetting I existed. I leaned into the joke harder. I said he lost weight but gained an attitude. I said he acted like he was better than us. I said he judged me when I ate. Evan asked when he judged me. I said he judged me with his eyes. He said he could not control my imagination. People chuckled at that, and I hated it because it made him look calm and smart. So I switched tactics. I made myself the victim. I said he made me feel watched. I said he asked where I went and who I texted. I said he was tracking me. Evan looked surprised. He asked when he tracked me. I said he always asked questions. He said questions were normal in a marriage. I said his questions felt like an interrogation. I said I felt like I had to report to him. Daphne jumped in fast. She said women should not have to explain every move. She said men got weird when they started glowing up. She said Evan's new friends were filling his head. That was exactly what I wanted someone else to say, so I did not have to. Evan asked me if we could talk privately. I said no because it was a party. I said he always tried to drag me into heavy talks to ruin fun. He said he did not want heavy talk, he wanted respect. I said respect followed results, and I had results. I said I kept our family afloat. I said I had earned the right to tease. Evan did not argue back. He stared at his hands for a moment. Then he asked the waiter for the check for his drink and stood up. He said he would get some air. He said he would be back in a minute. The moment he walked away, I felt a rush of relief. His absence gave me space to be bold. I pulled my phone out under the table. I had a new contact saved with a simple symbol, not a name. That made me feel clever, not guilty. I told myself it was for privacy. I told myself everyone did it. The message preview from Logan was already there. He had asked if I was having fun. He said Evan looked tense at the gym lately. He said some men could not handle a strong wife. The words hit the part of me that wanted permission. I typed back fast. I said Evan was acting weird. I said he could not take a joke. I said I felt alone even when I was married. I did not call it flirting. I called it venting. That is how I protected myself. Mari texted me too, but I ignored hers. She had asked if I was okay, and if I was being fair. Mari always asked the wrong questions, the questions that made me look inside myself. When Evan came back, he looked calmer, but also far away. He sat down and asked if we could go home soon. I said he was trying to end my night. He said he had work in the morning. I said work was not an excuse to treat me like a child. He asked why everything had to be a fight. I said he made it a fight by being sensitive. Tessa asked if everything was fine. I smiled and said Evan was just stressed about his new lifestyle. I said he was still learning how to be social. I watched Evan's face. He did not correct me. He did not expose me. He just sat there, quiet, like he was taking mental notes. The group started talking about gym goals. Someone suggested a weekend challenge, like a friendly competition. Daphne asked Evan if he would join. Evan said he might, but he needed to check his schedule. I saw him glance at his phone for half a second, like he had reminders I did not know about. That made me feel suspicious again. Suspicion helped me justify my own secrets. I stood up and said I needed the restroom. The rooftop bathroom line was long, but I did not go straight there. I walked to the side stairwell, where the music was softer. I checked my phone again. Logan replied fast. He said if I ever needed real support, I could come by the gym office after closing. He added a smiley face like it was harmless. My heart beat faster. Not because I loved him. I did not. It was because I loved the feeling of being wanted without effort. I typed back that I would see. I added that I had to be careful because Evan noticed everything. Then I deleted that last sentence and wrote something lighter. I wrote that Evan was being dramatic again. I made it sound like a joke, even in text. When I returned, Evan looked up at me with a quiet question in his eyes. He asked why I took so long. He asked if I was okay. I said the line was long. I said the bartender messed up my order and I had to fix it. I said a lot of small things stacked together. Evan nodded like he accepted it, but his face did not match his nod. He asked what I drank tonight. I said it was normal. I said he was counting again. He said he was not counting. He was trying to understand why I seemed distant lately. I laughed and said he was the distant one. I said he disappeared at the table, like he was punishing me. He said he went for air because he did not want to argue in front of people. I said he should have stayed and acted like a husband. He asked what acting like a husband meant to me. I said it meant he should protect my mood, not police my words. On the drive home, the city lights blurred in the windshield. Evan kept both hands on the wheel. He did not speed. He did not curse. He did not do anything bad that I could point at later. That was frustrating, because I wanted proof that he was the villain. He asked me one more time where I was during the restroom break. I said I already told him. He said the timeline did not make sense. I said he was imagining things. I said he needed therapy if he could not trust his wife. He went quiet after that, and the silence felt like a wall I could not climb. When we pulled into the driveway, I looked at his profile and told myself he was overreacting. I told myself I had done nothing wrong. I told myself a wife should be allowed to have fun. But my phone buzzed again in my pocket, and I did not show him the screen. Saturday morning felt like a stage, and I walked into the gym like I owned it. The lobby was packed with people in matching sets and bright shoes. The smoothie bar line was long, and everyone talked at once. Daphne was already there, waving her phone in the air, saying we should capture the vibe. I liked that. Vibe meant attention. Evan came in right behind me with his gym bag on one shoulder. He looked prepared like always. He nodded at Shane and two other guys near the free weights. They nodded back like he belonged. That bothered me more than I wanted to admit. Tessa started the class in the studio, and the music was loud enough to make thinking hard. People moved in sync. I stayed near the front because I wanted to be seen. Evan stayed near the side and focused on the moves. He did not try to look cool. He just worked. When someone bumped him by accident, he stepped back and kept going. He did not complain. He did not joke. He looked like a person who had decided something. After class, the group spilled out into the open area. Everyone was sweaty and happy, like they survived something together. Shane said Evan was strong today. Tessa said Evan's form improved. Daphne told me we should all take a group photo. I said yes right away. Evan asked if we could take a picture later, after he lifted. He said he wanted to track his progress with the same lighting, I said sure, but I rolled my eyes a little for the audience. I acted like it was cute and slightly annoying, like he was a child with a hobby. We walked to the weight floor. Evan started his routine. He did a warm-up set and then added plates. I could see he was pushing himself. His breathing was steady. His face was serious. A few people watched, not in a creepy way, but in that gym way where you respect effort. I felt the old fear again. If Evan became the guy who changed, then what was I? I was his wife, but in my head that was not enough. I wanted to be the one people talked about, not him. So I stepped closer with my phone and said I would film a short clip for him. Evan asked if it would stay private. He asked because last time he felt embarrassed. I smiled and said of course. I said I was supporting him. I said he could trust me. Then Shane made a friendly comment about Evan's before and after. He said it was inspiring. Evan thanked him and looked down again. He did not puff up. He did not brag. That humility made the group like him more. I could not stand it. I said Evan was inspiring now, but I remembered him before, when he could not even climb stairs without a break. I said it like a joke, like I was telling a funny memory. Daphne laughed. 2 other women laughed too. Someone said I was savage. That word made me feel powerful. Evan stopped mid-set and asked why I said that. He said it quietly, but he looked hurt. I felt the room shift. I felt eyes on us. I did not want to be the bad one, so I flipped it fast. I said he was acting sensitive again. I said couples tease each other. I said he should be grateful I kept him humble. I said if he wanted strangers to clap for him, he could handle a small joke from his wife. Evan asked me to stop filming. He asked me to put the phone away. He said he did not like being recorded. I said I was not recording, even though the screen was clearly on. I said I was checking a message. I lied like it was nothing. Tessa walked over at that moment. She asked if everything was okay. I smiled wide and said Evan was just in his zone. I said he took training very seriously now. Tessa looked at Evan and asked if he wanted to move to a quieter corner. Evan said no, he was fine. He said he would finish soon. He did not accuse me. He did not complain. That made me look like the only loud one, so I made it louder on purpose. When Evan finished the set, I said, we should do the progress photo right then, in front of everyone. Evan asked to do it later. I said later was always an excuse. I said he liked attention but pretended he did not. People laughed again, but this time it was thinner, like they were not sure. Evan asked why I wanted the photo now. He said it felt like a performance. I said the gym was a performance for him, so why not for me too? I said he loved being the success story. I said I was the one who lived with him when he was not a success story. I said I earned the right to talk. He asked me to lower my voice. I said he was trying to silence me. I said he always wanted me to be small so he could feel big. That was not true, but it landed because it sounded like a real problem. People understand silencing. People clap for that idea. Daphne chimed in and said Evan needed to relax. She said a wife should be able to joke. Shane looked uncomfortable and looked away. Tessa's smile faded, just a little. I saw it, but I ignored it. Evan took his phone out and turned the screen down, like he did not want anyone to see. He tapped something once. I heard a soft beep. It was the sound of an app starting. I told myself it was music. I told myself it was a timer. I did not want to think harder than that. After we left the weight floor, the group went to the smoothie bar. Evan stood behind me in line and did not touch my back like he used to. That missing touch felt like rejection, so I made it his fault again. I told Daphne quietly that Evan had been cold lately. I told her he obsessed over the gym and acted like I was the problem. Daphne asked if he was checking my phone. I said he asked questions. Daphne said that was a red flag. She said men who level up start acting single. I nodded, like that explained everything. My phone buzzed. It was Logan. He asked if I was there today. He said he saw me from the office window. I did not show Daphne the screen. I typed a quick reply and said I was in line. Logan sent back a short message saying he liked my energy, and I deserved someone who matched it. My stomach flipped in that stupid way. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself Evan pushed me toward it by acting distant. When we got our drinks, Evan said he wanted to go home. He said the kids had a birthday party later, and he wanted to rest first. I said he was always rushing me. I said he hated when I had friends. Evan asked what friends had to do with it. I said he knew. I said he was jealous. Evan said he was not jealous, he was tired. On the drive home, Evan kept his eyes forward. He asked me one question that felt too calm. He asked why I kept bringing up his old body in public. He asked what I got from it. I said I got honesty. I said I kept him real. I said he needed it because he might get arrogant. Evan nodded once, like he heard me, but did not accept it. When we got home, he went straight to the hallway desk and opened a drawer. I heard a small click, like a lock. He took out a plain folder with a simple label on it, household. He set it down, then put it back away like he remembered I was watching. I asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. He said he wanted things to be clear. I laughed and said he was becoming a robot. Evan did not laugh back. He just walked upstairs and closed the bedroom door softly. I stood in the hallway with my smoothie cup melting in my hand, and I told myself I was still the good one. I told myself he was turning into the villain. But deep down, I felt something else too. It felt like the room was changing shape, and I could not stop it. The week after that Saturday, Evan changed in a way I could not touch. He still woke up early. He still made the kids' lunches. He still went to the gym. But his eyes did not follow me around the house anymore. It felt like he stopped asking for my approval. I told myself that was rude. I told myself he was punishing me. On Monday morning, I saw his mug on the counter, but it was not next to mine. It was on the other side, near the sink. 2 mugs, 2 sides. That small thing made my stomach twist. I asked him why he moved it. He said he did not think about it. I said he always used to think about those things. He said he had a lot on his mind. At my office, I tried to act normal. I answered emails. I scheduled shipments. I smiled at my coworkers. But my phone kept pulling my attention like a string. Logan sent short messages. He asked how I was feeling. He said I looked stressed. He said I deserved a break. I told myself it was nice to be noticed. I told myself it did not mean anything. Evan did not text me much anymore. He used to ask when I would be home. Now he only sent one message about the kids, like what time Mia needed to be picked up on Wednesday. I read it 3 times and felt insulted. I told myself he was trying to act single. That afternoon, Daphne called and asked if Evan was still being weird. I said yes. I said he acted cold and judged me. Daphne said men did that when they wanted control. She said I should not beg. She said I should remind him that I could have options. That word, options, sat in my head like a dare. So, on Tuesday, I told Evan I needed to stay late for a supplier call. I said my manager asked for a quick report. Evan asked what time I would be home. I said I did not know. He nodded and said he would handle dinner. I did not go to a supplier call. I drove to a co-working space near the gym, a place with bright windows and small tables. I told myself it was still work because I brought my laptop. Logan was there, sitting with a water bottle and his phone. He said he had paperwork for the gym schedule. He said he could help me think. He asked why I looked tense. I said Evan had changed and acted like I was the enemy. Logan said some men got insecure when they improved themselves. He said they wanted to rewrite the story and forget who stood by them. I agreed fast, because it made me feel like the loyal one. He asked if Evan respected me. I said Evan respected his own rules more than me. I said Evan cared about strangers at the gym more than my feelings. Logan said that sounded lonely. He said a wife should not feel lonely. I felt heat in my face when he said that. We did not do anything graphic. It was not like that. But we crossed a line in small ways that still counted. We sat too close. We touched hands when we passed a phone. We held eye contact too long, and I did not stop it. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself I needed comfort because Evan refused to give it. When I got home, Evan did not ask where I was. He only asked if I ate. I said I grabbed something at work. He said, okay. Then he went back to the sink and washed a plate. His calm felt like a test I could not pass. On Wednesday, I was in the school pickup line. The cars moved slowly, like a patient animal. Parents chatted through open windows. Evan was there too, in front of me, because he said he could pick up Noah from daycare right after. He did not wave. He just nodded once when he saw me. I felt embarrassed, like we were strangers. Mia got in the car and asked why Dad was quiet lately. She asked if Dad was mad. I told her Dad was tired. I said adults got tired. Mia said she did not like the quiet. I told her quiet was normal. I said she should not worry. At home that night, I went upstairs and saw Evan in the small office. His laptop was open, but the screen went dark as soon as I stepped in. I heard a soft beep, like a recording app stopping. I asked what he was doing. He said he was sorting files. He said he wanted to organize house stuff. I saw a clean file tree for a second before he closed it. It had simple names like Bank, Utilities, and Archive B. I laughed and said he was acting dramatic. Evan asked why organization bothered me. I said it did not, but I said it looked like he planned to leave. Evan said he planned to be prepared. That word prepared hit me like a slap. I told him he was making me feel unsafe. I told him he was acting secretive. Evan asked what I needed to feel safe. I said I needed him to be normal again. I said I needed him to stop acting like a stranger. He asked if I could stop humiliating him. I said I did not humiliate him. I said he humiliated himself by being so fragile. I still think I was right in that moment. That is the scary part. On Thursday, I went to the supermarket after work. I used the joint card without thinking. At the checkout, my payment failed. The screen beeped and the cashier looked at me like I was careless. I tried again. It failed again. I felt heat in my throat. I used my own card and acted like it was nothing, but my hands shook. At home, I asked Evan if the account had a problem. He said he moved some things around. He said bills needed to be clear. I asked if he cut me off. He said he did not cut me off. He said he separated categories. He said he wanted clean records. I said he was treating me like a roommate. He said he was trying to reduce confusion. Confusion was my favorite word to hide behind. I told him he was confusing me. I told him his new routine was confusing. I told him his new friends were confusing. I used that word like a shield. That night, I saw a cloud sync message flash on his phone for half a second. It said, "File uploaded successfully." He turned the phone face down right after. I asked what he uploaded. He said it was backup. He said everyone should back up important things. I said he was acting paranoid. Evan said he was acting responsible. On Friday, Logan asked me to come by the gym after closing. He said he wanted to talk where it was quiet. I told myself I would only talk. I told myself it was not cheating if it was only words. I told myself Evan had already left me emotionally, so I was only balancing the scale. I went. The gym was dim, with only a few lights on. The cleaning smell was strong. Logan stood near the office door and said he was glad I came. He asked if Evan had been nicer. I said no. I said Evan acted like I was invisible. Logan said I should not accept that. When I got home late, Evan was sitting at the kitchen table. He did not raise his voice. He asked where I was. I said work. He asked why my location showed near the gym for 2 hours. I froze. Then I laughed like it was ridiculous. I said apps were wrong sometimes. I said he was stalking me if he checked that. Evan said he did not stalk me. He said the family app sent a notification when I went outside my usual route. I told him he was controlling. I said he wanted to trap me. Evan said he wanted the truth. I said the truth was that he pushed me away. He looked at me for a long time, then he stood up and took his mug to the sink. He did not yell. He did not slam anything. He just left the room, and the silence behind him felt heavier than any fight. The next weekend, I planned a family dinner on purpose. I told myself it was to fix things. I told myself we needed witnesses so Evan would behave. I picked a busy family restaurant with a long table area and bright lights. I invited my mother, my father, Mari, and Evan's parents. Daphne even asked to come, and I said yes, because I wanted my side to feel bigger. Evan did not argue about going. He only asked what time we should leave, and if the kids needed snacks first. That calm made me feel like I was losing the game. I wanted him to look guilty. I wanted him to look angry. If he looked normal, then my story did not work. In the car, Evan drove like always. He did not speed. He did not slam the brakes. He asked Mia to buckle tight. He reminded Noah not to kick the seat. I watched his hands on the wheel and felt frustrated because I could not point to anything bad. At the restaurant, people smiled when they saw Evan. That shocked me. Ruth hugged the kids and did not hug me. Calvin shook my hand like I was a co-worker. My mother, Gloria, hugged me too hard and said I looked tired. She said Evan had been putting me through stress. I nodded like she knew the truth. When we sat down, the table felt like a courtroom even though it was just dinner. The kids colored on paper menus. Plates clinked. Waiters moved fast. Everyone asked Evan about the gym. Shane was not there, but the gym talk still followed us like smoke. Evan answered politely. He said he felt better lately. He said the routine helped him sleep. My mother laughed and said Evan finally found discipline. She said she never thought he would stick with anything. People chuckled. I joined in because it was easy. It was also cruel, but I called it honest. Evan looked at me and asked me to stop. He did not say it loud. He said it like a request, not a threat. I felt heat rise in my chest because he corrected me in front of others. I turned it into a joke. I told the table Evan was so sensitive now. I said he could lift heavy weights but could not lift a small joke. Daphne laughed and said Evan needed thicker skin. Murray did not laugh. She looked down at her plate. Ruth asked what I meant by sensitive. I said Evan took everything personally. I said he acted like a victim when I tried to keep things light. Evan asked why light had to mean humiliating. I said I did not humiliate him. I said he humiliated himself by acting fragile. Calvin asked Evan if he was okay. Evan said he was fine. He said he was focused on the kids and on health. He said he did not want drama. That word drama made my mother roll her eyes. She said women always got blamed for drama when men acted cold. So I pushed harder. I said Evan had become cold since he got fitter. I said he acted like he did not need me anymore. I said he made me feel lonely in my own home. I said it like a speech, with my chin lifted, so people would see me as brave. Evan asked when he made me lonely. He said he cooked, cleaned, and showed up for the kids. He said he stopped begging me to respect him because it did not work. My father, Peter, cleared his throat and asked me to lower my voice. I told him I was just speaking truth. Mari finally said Evan did not deserve public jokes. She said I had been mean lately. I stared at her like she slapped me. I asked why she took his side. She said it was not a side, it was basic decency. My mother snapped that Mari was always trying to look moral. Daphne leaned closer and whispered that Mari was jealous. Evan's phone buzzed on the table. He did not answer it. I caught a glimpse of the screen. A simple reminder that said, meeting personal. No name, no details. He turned the phone face down. My stomach tightened. I told myself he was hiding something because it helped me feel less guilty. After dinner, we had to take Noah to a pediatric clinic because his cough came back. The waiting area smelled like hand sanitizer and old magazines. The kids sat close to Evan. Mia leaned against his arm like it was a habit. I watched it and felt angry, like even my children were choosing him. Evan checked Noah's temperature and filled out the form at the front desk. He wrote carefully, I saw a sticky note in his wallet when he opened it for his ID. It said, "Bring forms." I tried to read more, but he slipped it away fast. My mind raced in circles. I asked him what forms he needed. He said they were personal. I asked if he was planning something. He asked why I always assumed the worst. I said because he acted like a stranger. He said he acted like a person who learned boundaries. In the clinic, the nurse called us back. Evan answered the questions about Noah's symptoms. He spoke calmly. He did not talk over me, but he also did not look to me for approval. When the nurse asked who handled pickup schedules, Evan said he did, most days. I felt my face burn. It made me look less important. On the way home, I decided I would force a reaction. I told myself I needed clarity. I told myself if Evan got angry, then I could prove he was unsafe. That was my twisted logic. I wanted him to do something wrong so I could feel right. At home, the kids went upstairs. The house was quiet except for the dishwasher. Evan walked to the small office again. I followed him. He opened a drawer and I heard that small click, like it was locked. He pulled out the household folder, looked at it, then put it back. I saw another folder behind it that said bank. I saw the corner of a taxes folder with a USB taped under it, labeled by a date in black marker. He shut the drawer before I could ask. I asked him why he was hiding things. He asked what I meant by hiding. I said he moved money, moved mugs, moved his whole life away from me. He said he moved toward peace. He said he was not interested in fights. I told him I could post the gym video again. I told him I could show people how he really acted at home. I said it like a warning, but I smiled like it was a joke. Evan did not flinch. He asked if I understood what that would do to the kids. I said the kids were fine. I said kids were resilient. Evan said resilient did not mean unhurt. He said he would not argue about this anymore. I tried a different bait. I said maybe I needed real attention from someone who actually wanted me. I said Evan's glow-up made him selfish. Evan looked at me for a long time. He asked if I was admitting something. I said I did not have to admit anything. I said I was allowed to have friends. Evan nodded once. He walked past me and went to the stairwell landing. He stood with one hand on the rail like he needed balance. I thought he might finally yell. I almost wanted it. Instead, he spoke softly. He said he was done being mocked. He said he was done letting me rewrite reality. He said he would handle what came next properly. Then he went to the guest room, and the door closed with a calm, careful click. My name was called in a bright office tower lobby, and I turned with a smile like it was a mistake. A woman in a neat blazer stepped forward and asked if I was Phaedre Calloway. I said yes, and asked what this was. She said she had legal documents for me. She held out a thick envelope. Evan stood a few feet away with his hands at his sides. He did not smirk. He did not look angry. He looked clean and calm, like he planned his breathing. I asked him what he was doing. He said he was doing it properly. I tried to laugh. I said this was dramatic. I said he was doing this because I told a few jokes. Evan said it was not about jokes. He said it was about patterns. He said he would not debate it in public. I opened the envelope with shaky fingers. The first page had our names. I saw words like divorce petition and temporary orders. My throat went dry. I asked if he was really serious. Evan said yes. He said the schedule started today. I scanned the pages fast. There was a temporary custody plan with exact pickup times. There was a rule about not posting content about him or the kids online. There were notes about finances being separated for clarity. I saw a list of exhibits, and my stomach dropped. It referenced the gym video link, screenshots of my captions, and dates that matched my late work nights. I looked around, searching for support. Daphne stood near the lobby doors, frozen, staring at the papers. Mari's face was pale. Ruth stepped closer to Evan and asked what time she should meet him for the kids. Evan answered with a time and said he already packed their bags. I whispered that he was trying to ruin me. Evan said he was trying to protect the children and end the humiliation. Then he walked away without touching me, and the security guard watched me like I was the problem.